Hi, everyone. Sorry I won't be able to be there today. As you can probably tell by my voice, I'm fighting a little bit of a cold. But Mr. Ha is going to be there. He's going to take care of you guys. Everything that we're going to be doing today is going to be on Google Classroom. The first thing that you want to do is once you have your notes from Mr. Ha in that gold packet, you're going to watch this video right here about Elon Musk. Talking about a competition that his company SpaceX and Boeing were in. And then there's a couple of questions for you to answer in your packet. If you need headphones, you can certainly use your own headphones, but if you need extra ones, there's a box of extra ones in the classroom. Just ask Mr. Ha. Okay. All right. Once you have watched that video, you can pause this and then come back. We need to learn a little bit about competition. That's going to be the next area of study. Okay? So the first thing that we want to think about when we are starting a business or running a business is who is my competition? Who am I competing with? We're going to identify two different types of competitors. The first one is called a direct competitor, which would be a business or businesses that are essentially selling the same product or service. So the traditional examples that we think of would be like Ford and General Motors, Nike, Under Armour, and Adidas, Amazon versus all of the major grocery stores, including Costco, Walmart, and Target. Okay. So you can think of some of the businesses that we've talked about in class and just take a quick pause and think, who is a direct competitor? Who is right in front of me when I'm identifying my competitors? We also have what we call indirect competitors. And this is when the conflict between businesses that could satisfy the same consumer need. So they're not necessarily selling the same product, but they are filling the same need. So if I'm hungry, I could go to McDonald's, but if I'm hungry, I could also go to Taco Bell. We wouldn't necessarily think of those as as competitors, but they are filling the same need. A company like Facebook, again, direct competitors would be Snap and Twitter and companies like that. But indirect competitors would be anybody who is trying to catch your attention or catch your time. So Netflix, all of the streaming services, movie theaters, TV shows, those are what all be indirect competitors. Glenview Grind. So obviously, right in front of Glenview Grind is a place like Starbucks or Dunkin' because they're selling essentially the same thing. But I could go to Blended Health and Smoothie Bar. I could go to the Glenview House. I could go to pretty much any restaurant that offers whatever they are offering and that fills that same need. And then finally, we talk about Chipotle. The direct competitors would be places like Moe's and Qdoba. But indirectly, again, anywhere I can satisfy the need when I'm hungry would be considered an indirect competitor of Chipotle. Now, the focus here, and this is going to be kind of as you move down on your notes, talking about ways in which we compete. So now that we know who our competition is, we need to think about what are ways in which businesses can differentiate, which means what are ways that businesses can stand out from each other, right? All right. So first thing is businesses can charge by or compete by price. Businesses can choose to be the low cost option. Businesses can choose to charge a higher price. The quality or the overall product itself. Businesses can just make their product better. Apple is one of the most successful companies in the world because they make their products simply better, more user friendly than anybody else. Feel free to pause this video anytime or go back and rewatch some of these things. Businesses can compete or differentiate on having excellent customer service. We've probably been to restaurants or stores where the customer service is excellent. That makes people want to go back. Oftentimes, businesses will compete by having a stronger brand name or having a brand name. If you think of a smaller coffee shop like the Glenview Grind, they certainly don't have the brand name recognition as a company like Starbucks. Right? And then finally, we can compete on how and when and ways in which that the business advertises and markets their products. Obviously, some of the bigger businesses are going to have an advantage because they have more dollars to spend and they have a wider reach. So it often causes smaller businesses to find ways to be creative in how they market their business. Excuse me. Okay. Now, again, feel free to take a pause or go back and rewatch any of these. Okay. All right. So now what you're going to do is we're going to take a look at a little activity called competition in action. On the next page of your notes, you're going to see, and this is also posted on Google Classroom, you're going to see two competing companies. What you're going to do is you are going to compare these two companies. Now, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to think of Dunkin' Donuts versus Starbucks. I want you to think of all the ways in which Dunkin' Donut tries to differentiate himself. I guess it's actually just Dunkin'. What are all the ways in which Dunkin' differentiates itself? And then what are all the ways that Starbucks differentiates itself? How do they try to stand out in their space? Right? You should be able to come up with at least 3 to 4 different ways that each of these compete. And it's not just about the products. It can also be about the brand, the stores, etc. Okay. So then you go through and complete all of those companies. Okay. Once you're done with that, again, that slide deck is on here, but the names of the companies are also in your notes. Once you're done with that, there's an article towards the last couple pages in your notes about Potbelly and some of the things that Potbelly is trying to do to change how they fit into the industry and just how competitive it is. So what I want you to do is I want you to read over the article, and you'll notice there's no headline for the article. So your job is going to be to read over the article, and then also you're going to come up with a headline for this article. Okay? So think about, again, what are we trying to accomplish? 1, we're trying to get our reader's attention. 2, we're trying to give the reader an idea of what this article is about. And we're going to share these at the beginning of class, hopefully on Wednesday when I return. All right, and then the last thing that you'll do is, we've done this before, is there's a business analysis, but I put some new companies on there. I just want you to pick one of these companies and answer this question. What do you think about these companies' competitive advantage? What do they do to differentiate? How do they stand out amongst the competition? Again, just pick one of those companies. If you have extra time and you're interested in another one, you can certainly watch one more, but at least watch one and answer the posted question. Email me if you guys have any questions, and hope to see you soon.